Hey everybody, it is Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and boy oh boy, do you guys get two videos from me on this channel on the same day, but I felt like I had to make a video. Now, I had a previous video today where I talked about clone rifles, but the video I want to reference and talk about and respond to a commenter is the video I made yesterday, where I wasn't really necessarily calling out channels when it came to the Springfield Echelon videos and how they all dumped on the same day. I said I completely understand how all this works. I understand how marketing works. But in general, I just wish people were honest when it comes to their reviews, because honesty is what is important to me. So if somebody says, hey, I got this for free and they paid me and they have a glowing review, I have nothing bad to say about the review because they were upfront about the terms. Now, I'm always upfront about my terms. However, there was a commenter. Nice. Everything was nice. This one commenter, and by the way, stupid YouTube, when it comes to your names, sometimes it shows me, I guess, what you originally signed up with YouTube as your channel name or whatever. And then sometimes it shows me this stupid handle. It's like an @ with whatever. But the name was like @user GTP-35. It was something like that. So I'm sorry because sometimes those names can be different, so I don't know exactly who it is. But they commented and says, Jason, you are hypocritical and you shouldn't call it the gun channels, essentially, because I remember when you reviewed a North Star Arms NS-15, you didn't like it, and then North Star contacted you and sent you a rifle for free, and then you liked it, okay? I was like, okay, that's fair enough. I said, but going back, and this is back when my channel was big, okay? So on my old channel, I had 35,000 or 40,000 subscribers at the time. And maybe I should give you guys a little bit of background if you don't know. Is my FFL and SOT friend that always helps me with all of my transfers, he got in one of these NS-15 North Star Arms AR-15s and said, hey, I got one from my distributor. Would you like to review it? And I was like, well, sure. I'd never even heard of them, so I reviewed it. And by the way, these videos that I made, as you guys know, I'm re-uploading things on the new channel. So these videos are going to come out. In fact, they're already scheduled for, I believe in August is when they're scheduled to come out. I have all the videos pertaining to this rifle on the same day. So I reviewed the gun, and I don't remember necessarily having major issues with it. And I went back and looked, the gun ran fine, but my major complaints about the gun were it's expensive for what it is. I want to say it was and this is the NS-15, by the way, the one that they sent me, and I'll talk about it in just a second. I wanted to say they were going for just a sub $1,000 price point, so something that would compete with a Colt 6920. It came with a paper box. It came with furniture that I personally didn't like. Okay, it's this Hogue grip in stock, and I said the handguard was kind of blah. It did not come with backup iron sights or any of that. Now the way you see the gun today, or I've added things. I added the bipod, the light. I added some Ultradyne backup iron sights. I added this little loophole, little magnification scope. Nothing crazy. A Burst Fastfire 3. Nothing here that's top tier. It's all mid-tier stuff, mid and lower tier stuff. But I turned it into a gun that I like, and when they sent me the second gun, they actually did laser engrave the Texas Gun Vault logo onto the side, okay? But as I'm saying, the original rifle I had, I was like, it's okay. I don't understand the choices that they made, and I kind of disagreed. I was like, why are they sending it with a paper box? Well, after I made that review, a sales representative from North Star Arms contacted me and said, we'd like to talk to you about the review. Now, remember, I was just doing it because I'd gotten the rifle from my FFL. He had it in for sale and just let me review it. And I was like, I sat down and I talked with them a little bit, and they went over all the issues that I had. And they explain things. Now, to me, this is where I think it's really important that when you are selling a product or you're doing a certain thing, you have to have purpose. In fact, I tell my students, everything you do when it comes to music has to have purpose. Every note you play, every time you practice, it has to have purpose. You have to have a goal in mind. And it's really important to clearly articulate that purpose, not only to others, but most importantly to yourself. So things that you think are obvious or self-evident to you, because you have all the information, your audience or the person that you're marketing to also understands. And so they went over all these points with me. I said, okay, so why don't you ship them with iron sights, instead of Magpools? And the answer was, well, what do most people do when they get those? They take them off because they're either going to just run a scope, they don't want to run irons, or they're going to put on a nicer set of irons that they particularly want. Okay, that's fair enough. I still thought it should have come with backup iron sights, the basic ones, but okay, that makes sense. I've gotten things in boxes when I buy a gun that I don't use or don't want. And then I asked, why did you use the Hogue? I said the Hogue stock and grip is an interesting choice because it's not necessarily industry standards. Now, this is when things got interesting. The sales rep told me, well, North Star Arms is a subsidiary of the company that makes the minigun. You guys know that modern Gatling gun, you guys see it mounted in the military on like Humvees and helicopters and all that kind of stuff. It's a pretty amazing device, right? And this is a subsidiary of that company. And he said that when it comes to the interface of the miniguns, they use a Hogue grip that's specialty made by Hogue for the miniguns. And that the reason they chose Hogue is because since the company has this affiliation with Hogue through the minigun, that they thought it would be cool to have the Hogue stock and grip to kind of fit into that philosophy. And I told him, I said, that is awesome. Now, you've changed my mind on the selection because the grip isn't bad, the stock isn't bad, it's just not industry standard for me. It's kind of weird. But once I knew that, it made sense. I'm like, okay, so it fits this philosophy. You need to communicate that somewhere in the packaging, somewhere on the box, somewhere in your advertising, because that makes this from a questionable choice to a pretty cool choice. I like that. So you changed my mind on that one. Then I asked about the handguard, okay? And what they said was the handguard, it goes all the way out to the end of the barrel. I like it to be a little bit shorter. Oh, excuse me. And he just kind of explained that they designed the handguard in a way that it was kind of the industry standard at the time where they want you to be able to mount as many things on it as possible, give you as much room as possible, and the thin ones were kind of the way to go. Still not a huge fan of the handguard, but I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I understand why you went in that direction. And when it came to the box, now I know you're thinking, why is he complaining about the box? Well, it was a paper box. And I said, dude, if I'm spending $1,000 on a box or $1,000 on a rifle, you can give me a plastic box. And he said, and the sales rep told me, he goes, look at the box. So I went and got the box out. And I should have gotten the box out of my closet where I keep all the boxes anyway to kind of show you guys. But anyway, it had these like animal tracks on it. And he was talking about the philosophy of this company is based in Arizona and what they mean. And he also said, how many of the plastic boxes that you get with a rifle do you use? And I was like, well, you have a good point there. Okay, I keep them all, but typically if I go to the range, I'm going to have a bag. I'm take a bag with me versus the case. Okay, you got me on that. Okay, so the packaging actually had a lot of cool stuff on it. He explained the logo. It was very educational. Okay, now remember, when it comes to the rifle itself, it actually performed okay for me. Okay, it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't set up the way that I want. And when I reviewed it, it didn't have any or much else on it. I think I threw on some iron sights on it, and that was it, a vertical foregrip. And he said, I tell you what I want to do. Now that you understand our company's philosophy and the philosophy behind the gun, I want to send you one. I said, okay. And they sent me this one. So I picked it up from my FFL. They actually put a custom logo on it that I showed you. And I reviewed it again. And I shot it again. I spent some more time and I set it up more of the way that I would want it to be set up. And I had about the same experience with it. It still shot well. I didn't have any problems with the gun. But I explained to people that the things that I didn't like, things that I kind of dinged it on points, like the choice of handguard or Hogue grip and stock, no iron sights, just have an A2 flash hider out front. I explained to my audience what was relayed to me, okay? And once I had that information, I had a more positive opinion of the rifle, okay? And I told everybody in the video, I received the second rifle for free, and what they told me, I showed them what they did. Now, my opinion obviously changed because I now understood the philosophy of the gun and the company, and I kind of felt like they did a better job communicating to me what I think they should be communicating to all of their consumers. Because it's a quality rifle, it works, it doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles out of the box. But you get a good rifle that's going to function, and then you can add on to it. So whatever my star rating was on the first video, I want to say it was like a 3.5 or 3 out of 5 star review. It easily bumped it up because I understood the choices, even though I might not like Hogue, might not like the handguard. It's like it's a 4 out of 5 star review if you understand the philosophy of what they're trying to do. Well, apparently this commenter on my last video says that I'm hypocritical because once I received the firearm for free, my opinion of it changed. And that's a fair enough assessment from the outside, you know. I told him that I'm sorry that he felt that way. But in that video, I do exactly what I asked the other firearms YouTubers to do. I told you guys where I got the first gun. I told people, and you'll see this when they're re-released, okay? Because they're already uploaded and set to release. I'm going to release all the videos on this gun on the same day. I told you all the information that they gave me regarding their choices. I told you that I got it for free. I didn't hide it. I didn't get any other compensation for it. And I even say, you guys can tell me if it changes my opinion, but I gave my rationale for why certain things about the gun are now cooler to me than when I first reviewed it. Like, for example, the Hogue grip and stock. Okay, so obviously I've kept them on this rifle because now I understand that it kind of goes with what it is. So I'm going to ask you guys, is that me being hypocritical? As I said, I never called out the channels for making money or taking free firearms. I just said you got to be honest with people about it. And as long as you're honest and people have all of the information, then you're fine, you know? And as I said, I'm sad that this person feels that way about me. Obviously, they've been watching my channel for a good length of time and obviously was subscribed to my older channel. I just wish YouTube would not show me the stupid handles because when it goes back and forth, I don't know who you guys are sometimes. I have to remember the icons that you can see because I'm like, oh yeah, that other person is named this, but now that I see the YouTube handle, it's something different. Yeah, I hate that. But anyway, you guys tell me, is that hypocritical? And do you think because I got this rifle for free, that all of a sudden I was complimentary due to a bias? Okay? So I wanted to get this rifle out and show you guys. And I like having this dialogue because this is what I think the gun community needs. Now, obviously, my new channel is not what it was because, you know, YouTube back in January had issues with a ton of gun channels, including the big ones. You guys know how like Robski from the AK-47 Operators Union got struck for a while, and Military Arms Channel and all that kind of stuff. And I was a victim of that too, along with hundreds of other channels. And yeah, it just affected me, and yeah, I had issues, so I had to start a new channel. So I'm rebuilding. Okay, so I'm not like it was, when I was bigger. But as I said, I'm working hard to get all of that back. But I think these are the conversations that we need to have in the gun community. Because, once again, as I said, we have to be honest with each other. And I tried to give everybody all of the information about this rifle when I reviewed it. Now, obviously, I have upgraded it. I've added things, Magpul dad lever, this scope, the burst fast fire, the backup iron sights. I got a light on the front, bipod, vertical foregrip. Haven't changed out the muzzle device. I think that's all I changed out on it. I think that's it. Oh yeah, I also added the KNS non-rotating pins. I know some people hate those things, but I love them. I love them, and I have. I used to do a video. Maybe it reminds me. Maybe I should do a video on those again, because I had a really popular video on my old channel about my opinions on that. Because there's some people that I think have or believe myths about those. But that's for a video for another time. So anyway, you guys tell me, was I a shill? Did I review the gun biased because I got this one for free? Or can you look at that video? And as I said, it will get re-released, and hopefully when you guys see it re-released in the schedule, you'll remember this video. And you guys can tell me, was that unfair of me? Was I reviewing it? Was I giving it a glowing positive review because I got one for free? I don't think I was, because I laid out the facts of the video, or I laid out the facts of the gun in the video about why they chose what they did, and how everything from the box to the choice of stock and grip made more sense. I still disagreed with a couple of things. I still wish they would ship it with iron sights, as I said. Maybe redesign the handguard a little bit. It's kind of blah to me. Maybe put on a different muzzle device for that price. And for the $1,000, I guess I'm okay with the paper box, because otherwise, if I got a plastic box, it's going to raise the cost of the gun, and I'm not going to use it. Okay, it's fair enough, fair enough. So I didn't give it some glowing 5 out of 5 stars, amazing, go buy one. I was like, okay, when you see this on the shelf, you're seeing a gun show, and you question some of this and go, that's definitely different. I haven't heard about them. Who are they? They are a reputable gun company that's been making firearms for a while, the minigun, why they choose the Hogue, all that kind of stuff. So now it made sense to me because I understood the philosophy of the gun, and they did not market it very well. So what do you guys think? Okay, so I'm asking you guys. You guys get 2 videos today, but I thought this comment warranted a video response. And I appreciate the comment. I really do. They were nice to me, and I think I was nice to them in the exchange. So it's not like I banned them and deleted the comment or any of that. But I just kind of thought this all deserved a video comment. So I'm curious what you guys think. Am I a shill? Am I a hypocrite? Am I doing what I said everybody else should do? What do you guys think? You guys can be honest with me, okay? Because this is the type of dialogue that we need, and I appreciate your input, okay? So let's have a good conversation in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.